Hi, everyone. This is James and Florence, and we're on the Forum Celebrity Podcast, and we have two very special guests that we adore, and we are so excited. We have so much to get into. Florence, why don't you introduce them so we could get right into it?
Yes, we are so excited to have these two guests with us today on the forum. We are huge fans of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, and if you are, then you know these two viral sensations, the twins from the Capri restaurant, Jeff and James Thiel, are with us today on the forum. Hi guys, welcome.
Jim and Jeff, we love you guys. This is really exciting for us. Now, the first thing, we've gotten some questions from our viewers, so we wanted to go through them. First of all, when did you guys first think of getting on Gordon's Kitchen Nightmare show, and what exactly did you do?
Yes, we had heard through a friend that does casting that they were casting for Kitchen Nightmares. And so we applied. We talked to them like a couple weeks later, right?
Well, first it was on the East Coast, and they called us and said, "Hey, I hear you're interested in being on Kitchen Nightmares. Tell us about it." I said, "Hold on, we're gonna get our West Coast affiliate to call you." And so, was it a week later? We get a phone call from the casting company out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, tell us about yourself." And we said, "Well, we're twins. We own an Italian restaurant. We got pizza and pasta and all that good stuff. And we're having some trouble, and we're hoping that Gordon can help us get out of it."
Yep.
And they said, "Okay."
It sounds okay. And then
we didn't hear back from them for a while.
And so we called the person we knew on the East Coast.
We said, "Oh, yeah, don't worry, they're working on it."
And then they said, "Wait a minute, let me call them." And within a couple days after they called us back and said, "Oh, yeah, we want to use you guys." And so
Wow.
we got
Typical
on.
Hollywood.
Yeah, that's Hollywood. Right? Hurry up and wait. And
Now, when you guys went on this, did you guys, because I've been fans of Gordon since the start. I love UK television. I watched his special that roasted him for being mean. And then they did another show where he actually took prisoners and made desserts and in England, right? And then after that, he did the UK Kitchen Nightmares, which he was much nicer in that.
Yeah,
he was very cordial. He didn't yell as much, and he didn't cuss as much.
But he still used the F-bomb.
Yeah, he loved the F word. But But when he came here, it was totally different. He did that for American television. Did you guys know what you were getting into?
Yeah, but
we needed the help.
I did most of the books, and it was like we needed someone to help us out.
We said our last chance to, tread water, I guess is the best way to put it.
Stay afloat.
Yeah.
Stay afloat, and it's like, okay,
and it's like it was not easy because it's like he beats you up pretty good, and it's just like, no, I'm doing this so I can keep it open and this and that.
Well, that's like the funny thing about the show. We did the taping, and then, at the end, one of the PAs, okay, they hand me a key. I go, "What's this for?" "Well, it's for your storage locker." I said, "Of what?" Of all the old, furniture and stuff you had in here. I said, "I don't want it." He said, No, we have to do that by law. We have to give you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, Hey, so when I turn it back, I said, "I don't want to turn it back. I like what they did."
Yeah, and so we had did we sell them or donate it?
I think we sold maybe one of the couches. Bench seats.
And then we gave
then we donated most of them to a church.
Yeah.
Because
that's
we were paying for storage. It's like, we don't want to do that. Let's just get rid of it.
Let's get rid of it. And
he was very, I think, especially with Jim, I think he just knew what buttons to push, and he was just, I remember a couple times you were kind of upset at what he said to you, and then he would just keep going, and then you would make a mistake, and he would go, "Oh my God!" And he would and you could just see you fuming. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
The tough part is he would belittle your food's terrible and this is that, and it's like, no, it's not that bad. I mean, it's good. Mm-hmm. People like it. And so, and then he says, "Oh, this isn't thought out," and this and that, and through the refrigerator, it's like, well, as soon as he came in the door, I knew we were in trouble because there was stuff not right, and I forgot what was. There was things that weren't.
The chicken.
the chicken was
on the steamer.
was on the
Yeah, the way you guys.
I remember.
and so we when you're a little place, you can't always use the microwave. Excuse me.
Also, to thaw stuff out, it's like depending on what the demand is, you don't know what to expect. So it's like it run out of chicken, so we had to thaw it out. And the quickest way is, we thought
Yeah.
at the time, because we had never been in restaurant ownership before.
No.
And this was like a new experience for us, even with learning from, and we learned from the original owners what to do, but we were following what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, I said, okay, and it was eye-opening. And well, mainly Jim stayed in the back and
In the kitchen. Yeah.
in the kitchen, and I was up front with the customers.
Did you guys, when he said something, was that pretty much the interaction that you had with him, or did you guys talk to him much off camera? Did you talk to him on the phone? Was it pretty much just what you see is what you got?
It's basically what you see is what you got. And he, we would do a scene. It's like, oh, there's gum underneath the tables. You need to clean off the, underneath the tables. You got to clean those tables. And then he would be whisked off. And I said, what if we want to ask him some questions? He said, well, no, because it would start a relationship. And him to be honest.
He had to be, and it was that way. It was just like straightforward. And he went over the top, of course, because he had to do TV because he wanted ratings. And
blood. But that was, and it's just like, well, people go, why'd you do this? Because we needed the help. That's the main thing. It's not because we wanted to get beat up by Gordon Ramsay. And he came through and, he helped us immensely.
Yeah.
It's just, it wasn't enough, put it that way.
Yeah, you seem to have two really sweet servers. How did they take to I think one was Mia, and I can't remember the other one, but how did they take to it?
They loved it. They wanted, actually Colleen, the elderly one, stayed with us for almost, another 8 years? No, 5 years?
5 years, I think.
5 years, and then she started running a tobacco shop and watching over her husband and mother.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And then
Mia got into realty.
Mia got into doing her thing, but we always kept in touch. And then we never really found afterward any good, replacements.
Yeah.
Hard when you had the best, and then you're trying to find something, and then it just didn't work out. And
what about the cook that you guys had? I forget his name. Gosh, I'm so bad on names.
Darian.
Yeah.
Darian stayed with us for almost all the way to the end.
He was funny.
He was so funny.
His mom passed away in New Mexico, and the dad said, "I want all the family closer to me." So he moved to New Mexico, and I don't know, for some reason I thought he was cooking, but he was also doing security or something like that.
Well, the last thing I heard is he was having problems with his knees, so he was back with his family, dad and his brother and sister, and Dad said, I want the family back, and you don't say no to Dad.
Oh, sure, you got to do that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but another question we had from online people is, were the customers staged? Were they actors when you guys did the first sitting, and then also when you guys redid the restaurant? Were those two sittings staged, or were they? Because a lot of people say that they're staged.
No, they were customers and friends of the restaurant.
But also, they have
on the first one. Tell them about the first one.
The first one, they can call up and get reservations to come in. And there was a number. At one time, we had it. I don't know what I did with it. That you can call up to get on Kitchen Nightmares, to get on.
But you still have to pay for the food.
Yeah.
Which some people didn't understand that.
Oh, they thought, I'm getting on TV for free.
Yeah.
But also, they would tell the customers, send the food back if there's anything at all wrong with it.
They wanted drama.
So they were coached in a way.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, I remember Colleen told me that. She said, they're telling them to send the food back, even if there's, if it's a little, like there's no garnish, or if it's cold.
Oh my gosh! Did they say they could get refunds as well?
No, but If we couldn't make the food better, we would say, okay, you don't have to pay. That was our own motto. It's like, okay, if we can't get the food better for you on the second try, then the dinner's on us.
Yep, and we there was a couple people, but this was before she would always come in, and she was just a real tough customer.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally figured out what she wanted, and things went well. I mean, after that, it's just like it was smooth. She came in, and
we had our cook before Darian had a name for her. Okay,
does it start with a B?
Yeah, and he actually wrote on the shelf in the kitchen where the orders came in what she wanted, and it would be
oh my gosh,
and how to make it,
so
or what was in it. It was like pasta with this,
pasta with oil and a kind of sausage, no sauce,
and mushroom.
She was actually a very nice lady.
Oh, good.
That's very Italian, that recipe. It's like an Italian recipe from Italy. Sure.
Now, when was the first time, especially that you thought, wow, we could really fix this? Because you guys were in a real depression. You guys were really struggling emotionally and physically. And I guess every restaurant goes through that during this kitchen nightmare situation. Was there a time that you thought, wow, we're going to make it?
I would say at the end. I mean, during it, I was really just depressed. I was like, we're not going to make it.
Yeah, it was a tough.
Everything we're doing is wrong.
Yeah, and
it's like, why are we even open?
And it's just like, no, I know. I mean, our food wasn't that bad, and I know what he's doing, and so just go with it. And we had to do. It's like, I know this is going to be good. We have to do it to get to the end, to get to the goal.
People go, why were you always crying? It's like, because who knew if he could help us? And that's where, like, I'm going, what happens if
it doesn't work?
If it doesn't work, what if we can't change this around?
It's a lot of stress.
And so it's like, it was a lot of stress and stuff. And, when I get stressful, I cry. And it's like, I was in tears because I didn't want to go down like that.
No.
What, like the first restaurant that Gordon Ramsay couldn't help.
Yeah.
And that's,
well, Amy's Baking Company helped you with that one. The crazy lady from the Arizona. I don't know if you guys remember that episode. Wow.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But anyway, now I think the one thing that I really liked about the episode is that when Gordon did the revisit, Gordon, I'd never seen him so animated. And he was so happy that he couldn't believe there were tables on the outside. He couldn't believe how packed you were. He was just like on cloud nine. Did he kind of show that during the show? He seemed to really like you guys.
In the revisit, yes, he was very happy for us. And he said, keep up the good work, stick to your guns.
And like we said, we didn't get to talk to him during the shooting the first time. And there was one time we talked to him and he says, hey, this is your restaurant. You've got to act as if this is your restaurant. Yeah. You're doing, I forgot what he said, but it was something like, this is your restaurant. Yeah. You have to focus it that way.
And that
helped a lot.
I wish we could have kept in contact.
That was another thing I wanted to ask you. Does the show just purposely not allow you to have contact with him afterward? There's no one on the show that you contact? Is it just kind of a hit and run? We love you, hugs, and we'll never see each other again. I mean, what is it like?
Supposedly he had spies that would come in and just check how we were doing. He was keeping in contact with us also that way, and also on the social media pages, like in Facebook. I use that a lot.
He did a lot of the social media. I didn't really do that much on that. I was more of the guy that did the books, did the shopping, and that was basically what I did most of, and helped with the cooking.
And then,
so really, they were in control. They just wanted to check out how you were doing, what you were doing.
Yeah,
but they didn't really have...
Still using the recipes, and I thought the recipes were good. We did cut back on. They used
a lot of chili flakes in the sauce,
and I said that's too hot.
And then
I like it hot.
Yeah, it was spicy. It was
really spicy. This was a very spicy sauce. People are asking for sugar on the table.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah, that's a little hot. I'm a West Coast guy. I love thick crust. It seems like Ramsay always wants super thin crust. And
Well,
that's one thing I noticed with you guys is that when he brought out they're like, oh my, he's like, oh my God, these are huge. This ain't going to work. And then you look at his pizzas, they're really thin.
I like thin crust better than thick crust too.
we've always liked the thin crust.
Yep, that
Oh,
was
good.
Yeah, you get to eat more.
I mean, every so often I would order a thick crust to go home, but most of the time we had thin, and it's just the way I like the pizza. It was
And let me go on record as saying the only time I will eat pineapple on my pizza if it was the Capri Hawaiian, because with it you had ham, cilantro, and fresh jalapenos, not pickled but fresh.
yeah, it was.
They just had a better flavor,
Mm.
and it made the difference. And I said, yeah, and it was great because you had that sweet hot flavor there, and it mixed well together.
It was good, and I didn't like it that much because I'm not good with.
He doesn't like hot food.
I like it, but I don't like it super hot.
I like hot food. I mean,
Now I wanted to get back into the situation when you guys. A lot of rumors are out there, and it's very popular now to do these post kitchen nightmare. These guys are here. This guy's in San Quentin. This guy, drove a truck through a bridge or whatever. And there, so many of them are not true. So we're going to get the truth out of Jim and Jeff today of what's going on. You guys had a lot of success. How many years were you in this after Gordon came?
9 years.
Okay, I've heard between 6 months and 5 years. So
No, it was longer than that.
So to get everybody online and all the vloggers and all that, these guys did have a successful restaurant. We were talking before the show, and the success rate of a restaurant is only 20%.
Yeah,
so for Jim and Jeff to do so good for so long, you guys got to get 2 thumbs up. That's great.
Well, that's what my dad said. This is just the restaurant. It's not you. It's and so
She's hiding on us, Mom.
she's like, the dog woke up.
The dog woke up. Hi, Meatball.
And so we
Come say hello.
Florence and James, and basically
Hi,
You can
hi,
look
Mom.
behind us. You can come.
I think about
Might be easier.
I'm halfway there. As we get over here.
Here comes Mom.
Uh-oh.
And if you look, she's still wearing a Capri apron.
Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
It's time to get rid of
What
the
spirit. That's a great mom that's still got the merch.
Oh boy, those guys keep me in line. Let me tell you. Okay, now we're there.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Did you ever think did you ever think your sons would be on national TV? That must have been amazing.
Well, that's quite an experience. Let's hope it's going to be the big one.
That's
It
right.
helped. It helped out. Gordon Ramsay helped us out so much,
Oh, that was a wonderful show. Yes.
and we had been on TV a couple times.
Yeah, we had done acting, and
Did commercials. Some very.
well, let's get behind the story of why we had the Capri. At the time, we were both. Jim was working at Disney Studios, and I was working around doing different part-time jobs, and we were acting. So we done commercials and TV shows, and we had moved out of the house. We weren't living with Mom and Dad. We had our own home, but they said, "Hey, we're going to the Capri. Meet us there." I said, "Hell yeah." Free pizza. And we would have pizza and beer and a salad with Dad and Mom. And, the original owners, Joe and Helen, wanted to sell it. And at first they sold it to a friend
Mhm.
who
they-
destroyed it.
Oh, no.
And then we had gone back to say, because Helen came in to get it running again. And basically we started talking to him, and Dad said, "Hey, do you still want to sell the place?" And Joe said, "Make an offer." And so we had a discussion eating pizza. Do we want to run the business? And, we had some stipulations. We said we need to keep the cook, Jose, that was there.
We had to bring him back.
I had to bring him back because he had left to become a truck driver. And then, Mom and Jim would probably be running it more than I would, because I was working in the mailroom at Disney Studios.
And I was a temporary worker, so I just said, well, I'll just work here, full time. And I thought, oh, well, I'll do the prep work and I'll be quick, and then I can, fool around with making other foods. And it's just like, you just don't have the time. You got to get it done, and it was more than I thought it was going to be at first. And I learned that, hey, you're there, and it takes the whole time to get it done.
Well, the logic behind why Dad said we should buy the place was he said, you're probably going to end up working at a restaurant anyways, so you might as well own it.
Yeah, and it went pretty good for
And then, of course, Mom and Dad retired and moved away, so that meant we didn't have anyone, even if we did have an audition or whatever, we couldn't get away because Mom and Dad weren't there to help.
Let your fans know what you guys are up to now, what you guys are into now, and what you think
Well, I'm just sitting
the future
back.
will hold.
No, unfortunately, I have been on disability because of medical reasons. I have pulmonary hypertension and severe arthritis in my knees, which I got when I was in the hospital. So it's like, all I can say is if you have sleep apnea, wear your CPAP machine. If you snore, get it checked out. And, that's what happened to Reggie White. And she's checking and said, your blood oxygen is under is 75%. And usually most people are in the 90s.
Yes.
So they said, we're going to check it again. If it doesn't get better, we're going to send you to the hospital. Well, that was the start of my 2-year stint of going in and out of hospitals and all that good stuff.
No, that's
learning
great.
slowly to accept the fact that I'm probably going to be wearing oxygen for the rest of my life. And,
You're getting stronger.
Silly
That's
me.
important.
Yeah. I learned
You
my
guys
lesson.
look great, though.
Yeah, you
do
guys
look
do look
great.
good.
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
And we also saw on Facebook that you guys have a karaoke contest.
Yes.
We are in
Can you please tell us about that?
It's called Karaoke Knockout. If you go to, karaokeco.org/Jim Jeff, you can vote for us. It's a free vote. If you do it off your phone, it'll say you can have one vote, and it says enter your card. But if you go farther down, you can get a free vote using Facebook.
Yeah, verify it with Facebook.
And right now they're doing the votes. So
we have no idea what's going on.
But we're number one, or we were. Number
Wow.
Oh, good.
Number one.
Anyways,
Well, we're going to share the link, and we'll share the link in the podcast and in our
Can we
pages
do a little
as well.
song for you?
We would love it.
Go ahead.
That's a more.
Yeah.
In Napoli, where love is king, when boy meets girl, here's what they sing. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That's amore. When the moon seems to shine like you had too much wine, that's amore. That's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. Lucky fella.
So much.
With the moon at your feet.
No, cloud at your feet.
Cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming. Signor, scusa me, but you'll be back in old Napoli. That's amore.
Excellent.
That was wonderful.
Excellent. We love this part.
That was wonderful.
That was great.